Hey, Kimmy here. Still using a voice changer. But, I guess I'm doing it like this now. Basically, for you all who missed the previous video, in short, I was working on a project, in which I'd make a video that would include, like, a build tutorial for every possible farm in Minecraft. But, due to unfortunate circumstances, I wasn't able to finish that video, so now I'm kind of left with a lot of designs and tutorials that are finished, which I really want to release. So now I'm gonna try to release them all individually in videos like this. And the cool thing about that is, since I'm gonna aim for like one video a week, which will most likely be more like every other week, but you get the point. But I'll have enough farms to make videos on for the upcoming nearly 2 years. so so that's cool. Subscribe and share and stuff, because I'll certainly try to make it worth it. And for y'all who commented in the previous video, thank you. I didn't really expect much of a response, let alone these big messages. So that was cool. Though I found it really hard to respond to them all, so sorry for not doing so. In a way, I hope this video in itself will be good enough of a response. Anyways, yeah, no, let's get to the farm. Okay, so before the tutorial and stuff, I just want to kind of talk about the farm. If you don't want to hear me talk, skip to the farm overview chapter. It should be easily doable with the description, like the chapter thingies. Okay, anyways, so this farm is quite old, like the specific design, but the idea. It came to be when I was fishing with a friend, and they wanted to help me with the video. This was quite early on, but they weren't as good at Minecraft, I guess. So I suggested, like I always do, make a tree farm, make any type of tree farm. That's also a tip for some of y'all. Make a tree farm, and like that, that helped me improve, and it'll probably help you improve. So jokingly, they said, okay, I will make a tree farm and I will make it shoot TNT from down. Um, this is kind of a joke, because we talked about a farm previously that like used this mechanic. Another tree farm, some other farm, and I apparently didn't like it. I really can't remember which farm this is, but like I did like it, so that was a joke. But in the context of tree farms, that actually seemed logical. So I was like, oh, but it actually like that sounds like a good idea. And like, yeah, turns out it was. Like it took a while to make it work, but it works, and works quite well, because you don't have to consider the top of the tree with all the leaves and stuff. That's a lot of to consider with the usual like drop down design. So shooting the TNT up, yeah, that works. That works really well. And how it works, it's probably quite easy to follow this custom, because there's like not a lot going on. Wait, actually, I'll turn it out real quick. So it shoots out 3 TNT. Wait, yeah. The second TNT will actually be held for a bit, so it blows up lower. So the first one will blow up really low. The second one will blow up somewhere in the middle, and the third one will blow up high, because like that works well. I don't know. You can actually time the first TNT better by messing with the bits over here. But I don't suggest doing this. Like, you might squeeze out a little bit more logs for a big loss of saplings, or lose a lot of logs for the bit more saplings. I think this is up to just leave it be. it's cool, I guess. And it's all controlled by a Bedrock, which might be a weird choice. I'm gonna turn it off because it's really loud. Oh my god. Thank you both. So yeah, this might seem like a weird decision, but It really isn't because with the specific timings in Headstone, it can get quite expensive and quite tricky. But with a bird clock, it isn't expensive and it isn't tricky, and it is actually really precisely and perfectly timed, which you can like you have a lot of freedom with bird clock. Really great. Apart from looking a bit silly there, it like it works well. There's no reason to switch this out for a redstone clock because it works well as is. Apart from again be looking a bit silly and being big, like it's great and people should use them more. Like the only like I know of Bedrocks, and the only reason I do, and the only reason anyone does is because they're apparently really popular with witch farms and sometimes like mold farms, but that's all. Like nobody uses them. That's silly because they're like again really useful. You can really easily pull off some really specific timings. Anyways, it also controls the dirt going up and down because that's like necessary to grow it up. And to collect stuff that's on the dirt, you unfortunately need hobo minecarts. I know a lot of people are really quickly put off by hobo minecarts, but believe me, it's really easy to set up. I have it. I show it in the tutorial, and like it's really easy. Just follow what I do. This one also doesn't have to be as specific as it seems. It just needs to be overall for hobo minecarts. It's simple. Don't worry. Uh, and then you have the really weird collection, obviously. I went to so many variations of collection because I wanted something that's like that collects a lot but also is cheap and it like really hard actually. It's quite hard. But I eventually came with this. Still quite a lot of hoppers. Unfortunately, it's just unavoidable because if all the items have to be flushed, they will be blown up. But on the sides, they won't really be blown up. Yeah, I'll get flushed or shot out from the hoppers. Yep. And then this big collection pool. I will travel down here and up the chutes and then get put on hold in here until the player drives over this detector hill, which I think is neat. The flipped trapdoor, which changes the flow of water, which makes them go to the side and another slab, which gives the player some time to grab the saplings. I think that's neat. Anyway, yeah, that's all about this farm. There's something I wanted to do because I think it's funny. I won't do this for most other farms, but for this farm, I thought it was fun, is to look at my first, like, final design. Not the final, I called it final design because I thought it was, like, quite good already. Just needed a bit of optimizing, but as you can see, it got more than a bit of optimizing. This was the first design that actually, like, worked. Like, I did walk for like well over 10 hours and it kept on walking. Um, as you can see, it's just a bit bigger, a bit more expensive, and nearly 3 times slower, which is funny. There's only produced about 4.8k logs an hour of Darko. I mean, I can be too harsh on myself because I immediately optimized it. Like the first thing I did the same day I made the schematic is make it so it's only one TNT duper instead of two. And I timed the TNT better, so I didn't need to height limit the Dark Oak, which already greatly improved it. Which I just thought it was really interesting and funny how like different and like quite awful this farm is compared to this. And it shows my improvement, I think, because it's like well over half a year difference between these two farms, which is funny. But yeah, that's the Dark Oak farm. It's quite a lot more I could say about it, but like I don't know why I shouldn't. I'm just I'm having a yeah, no, cool farm. I'm really glad with it. I'm still quite unsure about like there's some things I still would want to touch. Like the collection, for example, I can never be happy with the collection. But overall I think it's in a really good state and I hope y'all will like it. Anyway, share over to the deco section. So, decoration. What do I mean with this segment? Well, something that kind of bothers me is how people just like build farms with like some leftover blocks they have just to build a farm, you know? Either that or they add like the most minimalistic and then samey decorating ever, like, the stone bricks, the smooth stone slabs, the glass or white glass if you're a little fancy, and sea lanterns or glowstone. And I don't know why decided this would be like the universal way we build our farms, but I think it's boring and I want to encourage people to make not so boring farms because it's at least it really helped me have a lot more fun in just casually playing survival with people, just like function building, you am I just building things to build things, which is fine. It's cool to be able to do that, but I'm not that good at that. I'm not that good at building in general, so like, it makes it easier even for me because you have like something to build with. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyways, yeah, so I wanna encourage people to make their farms look cool because I think it's fun and I would certainly think it's really cool if you make biofarms look cool. So I'm giving you tips on how to do it in this segment. So it's immediately pretty hard with this farm to like decorate and stuff because it involves TNT and concrete. So anything up here is gonna be pretty hard to like alter. Do keep in mind that you can build whatever you want, like let's say 5 rocks away from the door in each direction. That should be fine. And you could build with a good reminder, waterlock stairs. If you put like the waterlock stairs like this, you could make like a wall that's from the outside you can't really see that it's waterlock stairs, but that it's waterlock stairs and they're blast resistant. So that's good to keep in mind. For less damage, sure. I already find it like pretty cool looking. For some reason, I really imagine it looking cool with the new resin blocks. I'm not sure why, because they're quite they're a bit rare, but like I think it's because of the weird shape of the farm that I think resin blocks would work either well. It also quite like resembles a face, so maybe you can do something with that. And obviously, you can use glass because, like, I mean, I often mow glass in farms, but it can look cool. And in this case, like when I was designing the farm, I had glass here because it was easy to cement TNT, but it also just looks way cooler. Like this look is quite lame. So yeah, you could do that. Um, for the last time, but sure. Uh, I always kind of imagine this as a mountain. Like, you'd make like a mountain, like going up to this point because it's high above the level of the cloud. So I don't know reasons to be. I don't know. Um, just do whatever you think is right, whatever you think is cool. And if you do decide to like make it and decorate it and make it look cool and whatever, make sure to show it because I'm really into like it. I would find it really cool if like even just one person decided to make it like decorate it. I would that would be cool. You can just like feel free to message me on Discord, at Gary Blank. Easy set. Anyways, onto the farm. Farm overview. I'm not sure which segment is next. To that. Okay, so farm overview. This is where I tell you about the important bits, how the farm works, and just like important details. Um, so yeah, the farm works from 1.17 because that's when fields could be water locked till at least the current version 1.21.4, and I don't see any reason it would break anytime soon. However, the minecart and redstone changes will affect it. For the minecart changes, it 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 changed. So like now it kinda still works. Like the only thing you have to do is place this rail with a power drill, Which is nice because before you like nothing like these minecarts didn't work and this war somehow, I don't know. But that this has been changed, so now it does still kind of work with the minecart change, so that's cool. One thing that doesn't really work is the redstone. Well, the redstone itself will still work, it's just the duper. The duper unfortunately doesn't work at the current state of the redstone changes. It might change, just like the minecarts, it might change. However, if it doesn't, I'm planning on making a big video when these changes actually get finalized and added to the vanilla game. And the video will be like about all the farms that are broken and how you can fix them. It shouldn't be too hard just replacing the duper. It just kind of sucks because I really like this duper. And it fits kind of perfectly. So actually in this farm it might be a bit harder to replace the duper though. It should be possible. It should be possible. So yeah. What else is there to say? Oh yeah, it's obviously a Java farm, not a Bedrock farm. Like nothing about this will work in Java. I mean in Bedrock, because this is like the most Java farm ever. It uses so many Java things. It's a weird thing to say. It also it should just work on servers. So some servers, like Paper for example, that's a very um popular server thingy. It's not vanilla, so it probably doesn't work. It like it depends on the server configs, but like most like paper servers by default have TNT duping disabled, for example. So like if you're using default paper configs, it just inherently won't work. And enabling TNT duping is also like really hard. It is stupid. It's really weird. Paper is weird, and it's kind of it really sucks. Because I get a lot of people asking me why the farm doesn't work because they play paper. Best thing you can do is ask the server owner. Or yeah, that's or just figure it out yourself. I don't know how server stuff works. I'm not very familiar with it. Anyways, yeah, I think that's it. Oh, and obviously, and actually not obviously, quite surprisingly, the farm is not directional and not locational, so you can build it wherever and in whatever type of direction you want. It's in the overworld and in the end, not in the nether, obviously, because like water, you know. Anyways, yeah, that's all the important info. Now onto the how you use it. Okay, so how do you use the farm? Well, your inventory should look something like this. You want your sapling that you want to use in your offhand. The bone meal should be in your main hand. You want something to destroy the minecart with, so like a sword or an axe. And then you want to minecart itself. And then you want to fill the rest of your inventory with items that aren't produced by the farm. And make sure you have an extra item for when you place on the minecart. Okay, so we go up in the water stream. And there are three things you need to turn on. The first one is this lever right here for the dropper. You don't actually need to turn this one off after you've used the farm because like it can be unloaded. But because it's really annoying, really noisy, and maybe a bit laggy, you could turn it off. But you don't have to. You can just leave it on. The second thing you turn on is that you don't need to turn it on, but you flick this fence gate. This will start the farm, like the actual big thing of the farm. Then you need to wait before this turns yeah, that empowered. Then you place the minecart, fill the slot, get in the minecart, and turn on the bone mill thingy. And then you can aim and hold. Hold earlier. It's about when, like at the edge of the slab. And if you want to stop using the farm, go out when you're over here and break the minecarts. And I just turn this one off and flick the fence gate. It doesn't matter when you flick the fence gate, you can even flick it when the boat's inside, but Don't get in the boat. That's a bad. That's bad. You don't do that. Yeah, that's how you use the farm. Okay, so about the tree types individually now. Actually, before I do that, I want to first talk about what I mean with Q8 or F3 plus T because I'll mention it a lot. Um, well, first of all, F3 plus T, it's probably very familiar. It's when you hold your mouse down and preset your P suspects by pressing F3 plus T. The mouse input will persist, so you don't need any keywords or something to use and plant trees and stuff. And keyword is when you go to settings and then controls and you swap your use key with a keyboard key like a letter or something. And then when you hold this key, it will use, but it will use a lot faster than when you hold with your mouse, which is important for some trees. But the unfortunate thing about this is that you can't use F3 plus T to make it persist, so you need a Q8 or something, hence why I call it Q8. You can also obviously use an auto clicker, but I feel like that will be the least popular option. I hope that was clear because it's hard for me to say F3 plus T, and I am sure the voice over thingy of the voice changer is gonna mess it up as well. Anyways, so about the trees. At first we have dark oak and pale oak. They are literally the same. Like pale oak is just dark oak but white. But yeah, you can expect from both of them 13k logs an hour, 1k sticks an hour, 344 saplings an hour extra, and 166 apples an hour. And you will consume a little over a double chest of bone meal an hour. Now for dark oak, I highly suggest using F3 plus T or a slow auto clicker, because when you do the cheating or like a fast auto clicker, you will waste a lot of bone meal. Like you aren't immediately wasting bone meal when you click the back saplings before the square is made. It will contribute to growing the tree at first, but when you use too much, you will waste it, and you will use a lot when you use the keyway thingy. So use a slow auto clicker or F2 plus T. Anyways, next up is oak, normal oak. Now about oak, the only reason you should use oak over azalea is if you haven't found azalea yet, or if you really want apples. Like other than that, don't use oak because it's just slower and uses more bone meal than azalea. Anyways, for oak, I suggest using the keyway thing because you want to be able to bone meal the back saplings. If you just use the FT plus T thing, you will very likely miss the back saplings and it will be slower. And you might as well not use the farm then. Now you can, but it's slower. Anyways, for oak, you can expect around 5.5k logs an hour, 1.2k sticks an hour, 1.1k extra saplings an hour, and 225 apples an hour. And you will be using around 1.5 double chests or like 3 chests of bone meal an hour. Anyways, next up is azalea. For azalea, you can actually use FT plus T because azalea grows really fast. Like you only need about 1 to 4 bone meal per tree. So the back saplings will get bone mealed, like and grow with azalea. However, it's still faster to use a keyword. Anyway, so you can expect about 6.6k logs an hour for azalea, 1.5k sticks, 900 extra normal azalea saplings, and 630 flowering azalea saplings. Yeah, that's another thing. Use normal azalea. Don't use flowering azalea because you will run out of flowering azalea. Only use the normal azalea. And the greatest thing about azalea is that it only uses about a chest an hour of bone meal. A bit over a chest. So, it's quite bone meal efficient. Anyways, next up is birch. Birch, I suggest using the key weight, and you can expect about 5.7k logs an hour, 870 sticks an hour, 565 saplings an hour, and about 3 chests of bone meal an hour. For spruce, I also suggest using the key weight, and you will need to come off replace one of the dirt with a not dirt block. This is to prevent a 2x2 spruce from growing, because it can generate leaves under it, which can clog up the TNT shoots. And you can have it happen. So you need to do that. 0.9k logs an hour. You can expect about a bit less, because like just one less tree. Nano sticks an hour, 850 saplings extra an hour, and just a bit over the double chest of raw meal an hour. Next up is cherry. The cherry is funny because it's actually the only tree that this farm performs better at than ENX4's tree farm. Like all the other single trees, you're better off using Ian's farm. It will be better. It will be more efficient. The only reason to use this farm is if you don't have Ian's farm built and don't want to. And just quickly need some logs or something. But for cherry, you are better off using this farm, but only if you use a key weight, not if you use FT plus T, which you can do with Ian's farm. Anyways, for cherry, you can expect around 13.3k logs an hour, 2.6k sticks an hour, and 3.3k saplings extra an hour. I'm not sure what you need to do with those. I guess it can be fuel or something. And the bone meal consumption will be three normal chests of bone meal, 1.5 double chests an hour. And now for the most difficult one with this farm is jungle. For jungle, you actually need to remove 2 squares, because like the leaves overlap, and jungle only gives you 50% of the saplings you would normally get from leaves. So you really need all the leaves you can break. You really need to break all the leaves. You also need to height limit it just a little bit. The 13 block, which you can also see in the video, and you height limit it by placing a block for the 13 block. This can be, as in the video, waterlogged stairs. It can also be obsidian, and then the chest, a netherite block, anything that's blast resistant, except for a waterlogged leaf, because the tree will just go to the waterlogged leaf, so no waterlogged leaf. And for jungle, you can expect around 4.14k logs an hour, so not that many. 833 sticks an hour, 35 saplings extra an hour, and for my testing, it literally exactly used a double chest of bone meal an hour. Like, obviously it will vary, but like, you can expect about a double chest of bone meal an hour. And yeah, that's everything about which you should know about the farm. If you still have any questions, you can DM me at GammyBlank on Discord, and only Discord. And yeah, that's it. Good luck with the tutorial. I'll be using andesite as my building block, and granite as my scaffolding block, since they're both easy to count. You can use any block you want though. But keep in mind that TNT is involved, so some blocks might be more at risk of blowing up. So it's smarter to use higher blast resistance blocks like stones. I'm not sure if this is necessary. I haven't really tested it, but like, if you use something like netherrack, it might blow up. I don't know. Anyways, you can also obviously use any wood set you want. You can use any dirt you want, and any wool color you want. And lastly, the items on the bottom row are all temporary items, so you will retrieve them again when they're used. Yeah. And oh, lastly, the 2 buckets are for a water source, though it might make it slightly easier for you to build a farm if you bring more than 2 buckets, because a lot of water is involved if you didn't notice. Though it's easily doable and doesn't then take you too much time to only do it with 2 buckets. I'm now noticing how awkward it is to record a materialist voice one. Maybe I'll go back to text for that one in the next video. I don't know. I'll see. And about the tutorial itself, um, I mean, there's not much feedback I can take since most of the tutorials are already recorded. But for like editing and stuff, you please give suggestions, feedback, whatever in the comments or on Discord or whatever, because I probably can use it and it would be greatly appreciated. Anyway, yeah, good luck with fun. Anyways, that's all I have to show you for this video. Make sure to just check the description. Also, if you have any ideas on how I could improve my videos, please tell me down in the comments. Any criticism is greatly appreciated. Um, that's it though. If you have any further questions, feel free to DM me on Discord at TemmyBlank. Also, consider subscribing. It'll mean a lot. Anyways, see ya.